How are we doing today? Welcome into Player Profiler today. I'm your host, Tyler Canably at PPR Tyler on Twitter. Today we'll be breaking down Jordan Addison, getting a little bit of hot water. Got a Nick Chubb video to react to, some other Vikings, some rookie holdouts, and we have some kicker news. So we're going to break a lot of that down in today's episode. So not our normal rankings, analyzing the betting markets. We're actually breaking down some cold, hard, fresh off the press news, and it's coming all right up. Here we go. All right, and we're back. Player Profiler today. I'm your host, Tyler Canably, and the first piece of news I want to break down today is the Jordan Addison news that dropped later last night. Obviously, was arrested on suspicion of DUI. Because he was asleep. What the tweet that I saw from Field Yates was pretty much he was asleep in the number one lane of traffic near LAX in his car on the freeway. So I think the suspicion is that he got drunk, was driving, and then fell asleep. Again, these are only allegations still, but that is the current information that we have to go off right now. And obviously the big talk is is he going to get suspended? Because obviously, if you remember last offseason, he was cited for reckless driving because he was going, I think, 140 miles per hour in a 55. Regardless, it doesn't even matter what the speed limit was because there's no speed limit that'd be over that's 140. So he was obviously going really, really fast. I think his story was he had to take his dog to the vet. His dog was sick, something like that. It was something that was a little quirky. But so this is obviously not the first time him and a vehicle and the law have all been, kind of cold tangled together. But I do have here, let me get there we go. I do have the tweet from Hayden Winks in terms of the suspension and what this could possibly mean. What Hayden Winks tweeted out was, according to the NFL's policy and program for substance of abuse, absent aggravating circumstances, discipline for a first offense DUI is suspension without pay for 3 games. Discipline for a second or subsequent offense is 8 games. So, but assuming that Hayden Winks did his research, which he most certainly did. If the DUI sentence comes down before the season, then he's going to get a 3-game suspension is what it's looking like. So it's looking like he's pretty en route to a 3-game suspension. He also went down to break in a different article. He also kind of went more in depth kind of on just this explanation. And the majority of what he was saying was we've seen cases where the suspension has happened during the season where the case, because the NFL always waits for the case to be settled before they'll make a ruling. So obviously they have to wait for the legal process, which can take a little bit sometimes, especially in these kind of cases where if they don't get a ruling in the judicial case before the season starts, they could suspend him during the middle of the season. Obviously, worst case scenario, if you're a best ball drafter, is the season starts and he's he's out weeks 15, 16, 17, fantasy playoffs or something like that. So that was one thing that I thought was interesting. He could receive a suspension if found guilty, and that when that suspension happens isn't guaranteed to be, the first 3 games. It could be in the middle of the season, which wouldn't be great. So there's that to go along with it. Also, the commissioner can add potential games on it as he sees fit. So maybe does Commissioner Goodell, look at the speeding ticket thing from last year, and especially when you factor in the death of Kyrie Jackson and how that the big thing I saw on Twitter today was how can you do this after your teammate was pretty much killed by a drunk driver? That was the kind of what I saw on Twitter most of the day. So does Goodell take a stance on this and is what, we've had 2 incidents right now where you've put yourself and others at danger. Does he add another game on top of that 3-game suspension? Is it 2? Is it in worst case scenario, does he look at this as a second offense and does he get 8? Probably 8 would be I don't think that's possible at all. I think 3 though is probably I wouldn't even say 50-50. I would say it's more than 50-50. I mean, it feels like he's gonna get the DUI is gonna be, it feels like, again, off the information that we have now, these are still allegations, but it feels like he could get convicted of this crime given the information we have now. That's something that could happen. So I would say it's more 60-40, maybe 75-25 then 50-50. I think he gets a 3-game suspension if we're going off this news and this tweet right here. So really interesting to see how that plays out. Obviously, I'm a huge best ball drafter. We're actually drafting at 6:30. 6:30 we are drafting. So if you want to come hang out with us over there, we're drafting in the Fast Puppy today. Little self-promotion. Don't shoot me. Thank you. But we're going to be doing a little bit of that. And yeah, so that's going to be an awesome time. So yeah, this is kind of the big Jordan Addison news. Obviously, he also just posted. I think I saw an Instagram post, and I didn't really do much research on it, but I think he also scrubbed his entire Instagram, and he deleted his Twitter, and he scrubbed his entire Instagram of Vikings related stuff. But it's not like he scrubbed his entire Instagram. He just did the Viking stuff, which that doesn't really make any sense. Are him and the Vikings beefing a little bit too? So I'm not really sure what's going on with that either. Also, Anthony coming into 6:30 Central. Yes, we're going live at 6:30 Central in 24 minutes. Right after this show is over, we're going to be doing that. Also, too, let's just stay on the topic of the Vikings. It's looking like J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner both might hold out into training camp. So basically, J.J. McCarthy, let me see if I can find the tweet real quick. I'm going to go full screen so I don't, so I can just pull up this tweet real quick. I saw it on JPA Football, and it's from I don't know how valuable, I don't know how reliable the source is. Literally, if you look at it, so here we can go. Let's do this. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. If you look at this is the tweet that I saw. Again, JPA Football. I don't pay a lot of attention to what JPA Football does. It's from this Pretty Ricky. I don't know if Pretty Ricky's an actual NFL insider, but I saw it a couple other places too. So I think, and I've heard the rumblings of this. So I think this is semi-true, where J.J. McCarthy's planning to hold out if he doesn't receive his full signing bonus payment up front. So he wants that guaranteed money right away, and he wants it now. So that's very interesting. Are we gonna get a rookie holdout? Both him and Dallas Turner are not signed. So very interesting things going on in Minnesota right now. You got the quarterback stuff. You got Jordan Addison. You got even both of your first round picks are literally not even signed. So they can't participate in training camp if they are not signed. So very interesting to see how that whole thing plays out as well. We got Bradley Stalder tuning in, and how we doing, Bradley? Yeah, I mean it's smart on his end, right? Not great for fantasy football. It's definitely something to at least monitor. I wouldn't change how you're drafting these guys, but it's worth monitoring, right? A holdout is a holdout, and almost 9 times out of 10, I would say even 99 times out of 100, the players end up playing for the team that they're supposedly holding out from. Even the Ayuk thing, he's probably gonna play for the Niners. That seems like the most extreme example. Or if you thought a guy wasn't gonna play, it felt like it was gonna be Brandon Ayuk, but he's probably gonna play for the Niners this season, assuming he does not get traded. But yeah, it's something to pay attention to with J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings and Jordan Addison. There we go. Vikings news is settled. Let's switch to our second topic of the day, which is the Nick Chubb. This is my tweet on it. We'll watch the video first, and then we'll go from there. So this is the video. Obviously, you probably have seen it, of Nick Chubb squatting. This was either today or recently. I guess we don't have an exact date on here. So let's see what we got from Nick Chubb. Let's see what he's cooking up. Again, he had to have 2 different surgeries, ACL surgery, and then he had to do the MCL. It was one of the two. I think he had the MCL repaired maybe first, and then had to go back and do the ACL. I forget exactly what the difference was between the two. But this is Nick Chubb. Again, here we go. Look at this. Here, let's mute this. Here we go. Look at this, though. Look at this. And we've seen these videos before, and I want to kind of go on the record and say, and he does 2 reps of this. I mean, that's a strong man. That is a strong man. He's hashtag built different. Now, I want to go more in depth this, because I did tweet about this, and actually, I'm not gonna lie, I got some engagement. We got some engagement on the tweet, and I kind of want to clarify the tweet, because people kind of assumed, and let's read it first. I said, guys, I've been quietly saying it. This might be one of those built different RBs who can shake that ACL surgery differently than most. We saw with AP, we saw with Breece Hall. Is Nick Chubb the next one? So basically, what I meant by the tweet was, this doesn't really tell us ACL is more like that. That's going to impact more your cutting, more your lateral movement. I don't think him squatting this much is oh, his ACL is good. I don't think those two really go hand in hand. Again, I'm not a doctor, but from what I kind of understand about ACLs and what they do, is it's more the lateral cutting stuff, right? The top end speed stuff, those kind of actual agility type movements, where that's what we want to be paying attention to when it comes to the ACL, not a video of him squatting. Again, I'd rather see the video of him squatting than not see it. It makes me feel a tad better because I can tell myself a story. What my tweet was more saying was, we have seen guys like Adrian Peterson in 2012, right? He almost breaks the single season rushing record. He has an insane year, and he breaks all these records. So I said this before I saw the video today. I've been saying it on my stream again at PPR Tyler on YouTube. Is this could just be one of the guys that's built different. Again, it's not the same injury as Breece Hall. It's not the same injury, but the cost of Nick Chubb right now on Underdog is in the RB40s. He goes like he has an ADP of like 140. He goes way after, Jerome Ford, who like straight up Nick Chubb's a better football player than Jerome Ford, right? I feel like people have gone so far with the injury thing, and like, yeah, it's a terrible injury, but it did happen early in the season. Yes, he had to have 2 surgeries. Yes, he's a little older, but the price that you're spending on him, and I'm not saying go out there and, hold the 25% bags of Nick Chubb. That's not what I'm saying. But to just have him off your draft board, I think is a mistake. I think it's a mistake because he just needs to like score touch, like just be a goal line guy. Like he doesn't really need to have this a regular Nick Chubb season for him to return value at his current price. If he scores 6 touchdowns this year, 4 goal line touchdowns, maybe he has a couple like 15-yard run, something like that, right? Like he would be paying off his price if he scored 6 touchdowns this year. So I just really think that like I said, I'd rather see this from Nick Chubb than not see it. I do so want to see the running, the cutting, all that type of stuff. I have seen some cutting videos of him, obviously not on the field, kind of more in like a gym with turf on it. But this was a promising video. Again, it more plays to the fact that I think this guy's built different than it does. I think this guy's squatting a lot, and that's good for the ACL. I'm more looking at it as like he's a freak athlete. He's a guy who I think just cares about football a lot. He's not gonna mess around in the offseason. He's going to attack rehab, and it feels like he has attacked rehab so far. So I mean, if he avoids the pup somehow, if he avoids the pup in for the the regular season, like that is a win, because people are already, he's being drafted like he's going to go on the pup to start the season, so he's going to miss 4 games. I don't think it's a given that he is. I would even say, if I had to put my money on the line, I would say that he does not go in the pup. I think he plays at some point during the first 4 weeks, whether it's week 1, week 2, week 3. I'm not sure, but I think he plays within the first 4 weeks of this NFL season. So I would be cautiously drafting some Nick Chubb, me personally. Bradley saying, don't ruin the hype, Jerome Ford. There we go. So, and then we got Harry Snowman. Ooh, is it time to sell Nick Chubb? I've been waiting for the hype video. It might be time to sell Nick Chubb. In Dynasty, I think this is a sell. Get, I would say get maximum value for Dynasty after today. Best ball, it's time to buy, I would say. Cautiously buy is what I would say. And I had a good reply. A lot of the replies were a lot of other stuff, but I feel like Nick Chubb's a very divisive topic, but here's the part that I wanted to talk about. This person right here said the 2016 season was the year after a multiple surgery knee injury. Again, that was not the ACL. If you remember, Nick Chubb did hit up his knee in college. It was like the LCL, PCL, and MCL or something like that. It wasn't the ACL, but it's a really, really nasty injury that ended his 2015 season a little short. So I thought this was worth pointing out. So like his stats in the year after. So this is the year. Oh yeah, I actually can't see it. This is the year right here. 2015 was the year that he tore his ACL, or his MCL, PCL, LCL, whatever that the CLs that are in your knees, those ligaments. And then 2016 was the year after it. So I mean, he had 224 carries. Obviously, wasn't as efficient as the next year, like after coming off. But again, he's a lot older now than he was. But I think it's just worth pointing out. Like he has kind of had a multi ligament surgery before, in college, so it's a lot different situation. But it's just some other information that I thought was interesting. So that's all I got about the Nick Chubb part of things. So let's go full here, and then let me pull up the contract real quick, because we do have some fun kicker news. But before we get to the kicker news, let's hear a good word from the Podfather. Actually, you know what? I think we have this ad, and it just dropped. Was the draft kit. The draft kit is now live on Player Profile. Let me pull this up. Maybe I'll just do the ad read myself, where we have the draft kit just went live, and I kind of the best way I can kind of describe my thoughts is what I tweeted about. So I basically said, so many sharp fantasy analysts had a part to play in this, and you should 100% giving this a purchase. This isn't some rinky-dink draft guide we just threw together behind a paywall. This was months of coordination from Theo Greminger specifically. This is his baby. He did a really, really good job with this. From some of the sharpest minds in the industry. For those of you who have been on my stream, and I've been teasing this for months. This is an incredible product. So let's hear a word. Let's play the draft kit promo. Let's see what we got going on. Go get the draft kit, baby.
Hey, it's the Podfather. I have great news. The draft kit is live. It is world famous. Why? Because it is the best resource for winning fantasy football championships that exists. There are rankings and cheat sheets for every format you can imagine. We have projections both at the team level and the player level. And wherever you are, you can click on a player, open them up, and see in-depth written analysis about what to expect in fantasy football from that player this year. And then you can click on the team, and you can get even more in-depth analysis, all the drivers of fantasy production, both in a positive and negative direction for that team, including a signature trend. And the graphics are incredible. So these team insights, they give you the team-level projections, the vacated targets, the vacated areas. And we added a bunch of features. I mean, individual cheat sheets for Theo and Billy and Dario. So you could take your favorite analyst and download their personal draft cheat sheet. And then in the commissioners section, Memphis Young lays out everything you need to know to manage a league. The best minds in the industry contributing analysis. It's certainly not the most inexpensive draft kit on the market, but it is the best. PlayerProfiler.com/draft kit. PlayerProfiler.com/draft kit. Go get it.
Go get it, baby. And let's hit the last piece of news we have for you on this fine Monday. We had some kicker news right before I went live. Dustin Hopkins, 3-year deal, $50 million. Again, now he's in Cleveland for 3 more years. And, it's just kind of fun to look at the kicker salary. How much is your favorite kicker making? Justin Tucker makes $6 million a year. He's kind of the GOAT. Funny that Jake Elliott makes the same as Justin Tucker. I'd much rather have Justin Tucker for $6 million than Jake Elliott. I know Younghoe Koo got a contract. He must not have got as much money as these guys up here. But, very interesting. I just thought we give the kickers some love because, obviously they matter, especially in Scott Fishbowl. If you're drafting in that, maybe draft a little Dustin Hopkins. I don't know if he's going to go, I don't know if he's going to be the first kicker off the board, but it's very interesting to say the least. But that's all I got for you guys today. Again, hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Hope you had a great weekend. Again, Jordan Addison. Final thoughts, Jordan Addison. I'd stay away in best ball at his current price. Wait for that ADP to come back down. I try and buy in Dynasty, though. Buy in Dynasty if you can, because, some people might just get mad at him because he said it's been 2 off seasons, 2 drama things with, cars and police and whatnot. So I say buy in Dynasty, hold in best ball, Nick Chubb, sell in Dynasty, and then buy in best ball at their current prices, what you can get for them. But we will see you later. We'll see you next Monday with, I'm sure, some fantastic content. That's the only thing that we do on Player Profiler today. It's been a blast. Again, I'm live in 10 minutes over on my channel at PPR Tyler. We're drafting in the underdog streets, and we will see you later next Monday. Peace.
From the Podfather to you, I deeply appreciate you tuning in. And many ask, what can I do? What can I do to help support the hosts, the research they do, the production costs? Go to PlayerProfiler.com. Dynasty Deluxe, World Famous Draft Kit, Rankings, DFS Dominator, and of course, data analysis. Subscribe to any one of those, and you support all of us and take Player Profiler to the moon.